I'm 2 sentences in and she has lost her underwear. What is happening? What is this book doing to me? I need help. Oh my god. I'm gonna need fucking Botox because of this book. Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this video is going to be a vlog of me reading Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is one of the most popular romance series of all time. It's the first book in the Addicted / Calloway sisters series, and this book specifically follows Lily and Lo and their whole story. So Lily is a sex addict and Lo is an alcoholic. Yeah. This book, spoiler alert, but this book freaking broke me. I loved it, and I have since bought the physical copy of the book, and it's supposed to come in today. So yeah, let's get right into the video so you can watch me act a fool over a book. Hey guys, I'm getting ready for bed. I think I'm finally gonna start the first book in the Addicted series. I really think I'm gonna love it. We'll see. I'm gonna start reading while I put shit on my face. I'm 2 sentences in and she has lost her underwear. I love that. The strong scent of alcohol and pepperoni pizza wafts right through me. Ew. Sounds like a frat boy to me. Are they in college? Yeah, I guess they are college age. Okay, I'm gonna go and read this in bed because I am so sleepy. I'm gonna pass out. Ew. Oh my god. What is happening? What is this book doing to me? I don't know what's going on. I have literally never cried like this in a book. What the I look swollen. It's 8:44 in the morning. I went to bed at like 3:30 last night because I couldn't stop reading this. I was exhausted, but I couldn't fall asleep because I started this stupid fucking book. I'm only 27%. And here's the thing. I don't even understand what I'm crying about. I'm not exactly crying about what's happening in the book. This book is hitting where it hurts. It's making me think of a lot of stuff that's going on in my own life that I'm not taking care of, that I'm not addressing. Like, there's just a lot of things in here that are happening that are kind of a parallel to my own life. I need help. And this book is like therapy. I feel like I'm processing a lot of emotion. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna go and I'll see you guys whenever I pick this book up next. It blows my mind, the alcohol that this man abuses, and I don't quite understand how he's still alive. You can say that he has like a really high tolerance, but it's borderline unrealistic how much he drinks and how functioning he is. Like, at this point, he's definitely got a lot of permanent damage. For some reason, if his health doesn't become an issue later on in these books, I don't understand how, because you can't drink that much for years and come out unscathed. And he's not like drinking beer. He's chugging like 140 proof, 80 proof, you know? That is the one thing that's throwing me off right now, is how fine he is physically. Hey guys, I'm back. Not as puffy. I need to get ready for another video, so I figured I'm gonna talk to you guys about this. I went into this book expecting a light, fluffy romance read, which I don't know what the hell I was on. I don't know what I was thinking, because this is literally about 2 addicts. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be a light, fluffy read. It's like a lot darker than I was expecting it to be. You know, like those books where they tackle really dark topics, but they do it in almost like a comedic way. I don't know why I thought that was gonna happen. Last night when I was first reading it, when I was first getting into it, like I want to say around the first 10% of the book, I was very confused. I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on? This is not what I signed up for. Because I was like, I'm about to go to bed. I just want to read something really fun. And that's not what I got. So it took me a minute to get into the groove and to get into the right mindset to like read this book. But once I got there, which again was like right around 10%, man, I didn't know what to do with myself. Kept on like turning off my Kindle and then turn it back on last night. I was freaking exhausted last night, but then it started getting good. It started getting really emotional, and I started to finally understand what this book was about. And every single time I would turn my Kindle off because I feel myself getting tired, I would turn it back on like a few seconds later because I can't stop thinking about what I just read. I think last night I was partially delirious because I was so tired. Like, I was feeling the feels, but I wasn't like quite feeling it yet. Not the way that I did this morning after I had gotten rest. Because for a minute, I genuinely thought that I was going crazy. I was crying about the things that she was talking about that I related to on a very deep level. Although I can't relate on the addiction side of things, I can truly relate to a lot of the stuff that they were going through, like a lot of family issues, and also like this feeling that they're obviously very, very privileged people. If you have read this book, they are. That's not a spoiler. And although I'm not like that rich, you know, I am a pretty privileged person and I grew up in a pretty privileged lifestyle. So I relate in the sense that sometimes you just feel like the stuff that you're going through, the emotions that you're feeling are not valid because a lot of people are just gonna see you as this spoiled rich kid and like, why are you complaining about your life? And sometimes I definitely feel that way. It's like, yeah, I don't even know why I'm complaining. There's someone else who's doing a lot worse than I am. There's someone else who's worrying about like more real issues than I am. So like, why am I even worrying about this stuff? And sometimes that I forget that I'm allowed to have feelings too, no matter how privileged I might be. So I don't know, like that just hit me really hard, and it kind of also helped me process some emotions and all of that. So far I'm really having fun with this book. I mean, I guess having fun might not be the correct word, but I'm really enjoying this book. I don't know if it's gonna be a 5-star read, but it's looking like it at this point. And also, like, I've heard so many times that like they're famous, that they're gonna be famous or something. I don't know, like, is that a spoiler? Because so far right now I'm not seeing any fame. They're famous right now in the sense that their family has money and like people know of their families because a bunch of their families own huge corporations, and I think Lily's parents actually owns a conglomerate, so they're kind of famous in that like circle. But I heard some people say that they're like Kardashian famous, so like, are they gonna become celebrities kind of thing, or what's happening with that? You don't have to answer that because by the time this video comes out, I'm already gonna know the answer to it. Unless that doesn't happen in the later books and someone just spoiled that for me. And I might have just spoiled it for someone else. So hopefully it's not a spoiler. It's happening again. I literally just read 2 pages. Chapter 15. I think I love this book. I genuinely have not felt like this about a book in so long. I'm so happy, except like sad. I'm sad and happy at the same time. So I just met Connor and I freaking love him, but now I actually need to stop reading, which I don't want to do. I just want to finish the freaking book. And you know what? I've decided that I'm actually gonna buy physical copies of all of the books because I love it that much, even if I hate the freaking cover. I don't know if I'll buy the Calloway sisters because those covers are really bad. I don't know. We'll see. But I love this book so much.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places. Makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking.
Hey guys, okay. This is really bad lighting. Okay, that's even worse lighting. But I'm 82% of the way through and I have a theory. I don't know. I'm getting that vibe. I'm obsessed with this freaking book. I'm obsessed with this world. Like, oh, it's so good. I'm sitting in my car. I have my windows open, that's why I'm whispering. But I was reading Addicted, but I had to keep on stopping because I did not want to start bawling in the middle of a parking lot. And now there's paramedics here. So I hope everything's okay. But this is making me paranoid. I feel like someone's watching me talk to myself. Okay, bye.
She said I won't be back in a while. Don't wait. Already packed her bags, called the cab, made space. And she said I won't answer if you call me when you're lonely. I guess I let her go. Never mind, it's too late. But I can't believe I let you slip. I think about it 7 days a week, and this just can't be how it's supposed to end up. It's not
I don't even know what to rate it. I have genuinely never cried like this in a book. I don't think I've ever felt this connected to fictional characters in my whole life. Oh my god. I was reading most of the last 20% of this book in a parking lot earlier, and I literally had to stop at like 96% because I knew that shit was about to get even more real than it already was, and I didn't want to cry in the middle of a parking lot. I think I have to give it 5 stars, right? Like, I don't know what else. I went into this freaking book thinking that I could binge every single book this month. But I don't know if I could take it. If I read the next book right away. I'm such an ugly fucking crier. I have never looked at myself crying until now. Like, what the fuck is this eyebrow doing? Oh my god. I'm gonna need fucking Botox because of this book. Oh my god. What is it doing? I can't form words right now, and I need to charge my Kindle. I don't think I can be coherent right now.
Hey guys, ignore the background. What the hell? I didn't realize it was there. It's been like 2 days since I finished Addicted to You. I now finally have the strength and the ability to talk about this book. And I feel like it's kind of been the theme of this vlog to talk about this book while I'm getting ready for stuff. You guys saw what I look like. I love this book so much. I love it so much to the point that I literally went on Amazon a few minutes after I finished reading it, after I've like calmed down a little bit and I could actually see, because my eyes were so blurry from crying. But I went on Amazon and I ordered the physical copy, even though I don't love the covers. And when it comes to romance books, I tend to just read them on my Kindle, which is what I had done with this book. But I loved it so much that I wanted a physical copy of it in my collection. I wanted to be able to tab and annotate the actual pages of the book. Obviously, I highlighted and tabbed on my Kindle, but it's different, like doing it on a real book, especially when it's like a book that you care about so much. This is the most frustrating thing in the world. Oh my gosh. I can't get this one screw to screw on. It worked. Nope, it didn't. Okay, I'm giving up on this stupid bracelet for now. Let's talk about the book. Let's get back into this. I just tried unscrewing the fake screw. Yeah, so after I finished this book, I found myself thinking of them as real people. The last couple of pages of that book absolutely freaking destroyed me. I was waiting in a parking lot and I had my Kindle with me and I was sitting there by myself and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just like continue reading it, because I think at that point I only had like 80% left of the book. So I started reading it, but as soon as I got around like 90%, and I read it so slowly because I found myself continuously having to stop in the middle of reading so I wouldn't be crying in the middle of a dark parking lot by myself. Like, it was a mess. But at the same time, I couldn't stop reading for that long, so I continued reading it until I got to a point where I just knew that there was no way I was going to be able to stop, number one. And number two, there was no way that I could read it without crying. So I stopped and I waited until I was home. That was the footage that you saw of me sobbing like a freaking weirdo over a book. That has literally never happened before. I have never ever reacted like that while reading a book ever in my freaking life. I don't know what happened, but all I knew is as I was reading it, I felt like what was happening to them was happening to me. I wanted the best for them. I wanted them to get through this. I am rooting for them so hard, but that ending was so heartbreaking. And the thing is, I predicted it. I guessed the twist. I saw it coming from a mile away. I actually vlogged it.
Is Reich and Lo somewhat related? Because Reich's dad is sounding a lot like Jonathan.
Even though I saw it coming from a mile away, that didn't change my opinion on the book. Like, it wasn't like any less sad or any less hard hitting that it happened. because I cared so much about the characters by the end of the book. By the time that the reveal happened, even though I knew that it was coming, I didn't care. It was still sad and it still hurt. And also I thought this was going to be a very plot driven book, because I feel like whenever you're talking about addiction, there's a lot that can happen, right? There's a lot of like really eventful things that can happen, and you can definitely dramatize it to a point where it's all like fast moving plot. This is 100,000% a character driven book, and for the most part I prefer plot driven books. A lot of the character driven books that I have read in the past haven't done it right, but if a character driven book is done well, then I prefer it over a well done plot driven book. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but this book is 100% a character driven book, and it is done so freaking well. I don't know if it's because of my own personal biases, but I really appreciate how addiction was handled in this case. I was really worried going into this book, knowing that it's about two people who are addicted. That's why I was kind of apprehensive to pick up this book in the beginning. But since everyone raved about it, I knew that I just had to. But yeah, I didn't find a lot of issues with the way that the addiction was handled. It wasn't magically fixed by the love that they had for each other, which I was worried about. In the beginning, as they were like getting together, it almost felt like it was gonna go that direction. But again, she's an unreliable narrator, right? Like, we're Lily's point of view, she's not the most reliable. We can't see into Lo's head. She was kind of almost justifying a lot of things in her head, and I think she was almost coming to a conclusion where, like, you know what, maybe if we were together, maybe we wouldn't have this problem. And I'm really, really glad that that's not what happened. But I really appreciate that the addiction wasn't handled in a way that a lot of romance books tend to handle addictions. I've read a couple of books, not just addiction actually, I've read a couple of romance books where they treat any sort of like mental illness or mental struggles or anything like that as something that can be fixed by another person coming into your life. One of the biggest examples that I can think of is The Deal by Al Kennedy. Now, I love these books. That book does deal with a topic of and you know, dealing with PTSD. In The Deal, Hannah Wells was, and ever since then, for obvious reasons, she's had a lot of trust issues when it comes to having sex. She has a lot of trauma related to the, which makes sense, obviously. And I didn't really appreciate how Garrett was the one to fix her, that he was just magically able to make her forget a lot of her traumas because he's a good guy and he's the right person or whatever. Well, obviously, yes, that plays a role in that, like in the recovery for something like that. I don't like that they never even mentioned the idea of getting professional help for her PTSD, which I understand, like, she's a broke college student, so that might not be an option for her. Yeah, I just didn't like that she was fixed, quote unquote, so unrealistically. But the Addicted series, or at least the first Addicted book, is not that at all, because at the end of the day, Lauren wasn't able to just detox at home and just carry on with his life and everything is fine and dandy. I was really worried when they brought that up, when he was like, no, I'm just gonna detox at home. And I was like, oh God, like, you have been an alcoholic since you were 12 years old. Like, which, by the way, I don't know how he's still alive. I'm really glad that it didn't work. Which, I know that sounds really messed up, but that's just so unrealistic. Like, that's not how addiction works. Now him and Lily now have this space. Lily now has to deal with her own addiction because they're very codependent, obviously, so it's necessary for them to have separate lives and to separate at the end somehow. Like, they couldn't stay together, and that's why I feel like I was so heartbroken while reading the book, because I knew that there was no way they were gonna be able to stay together at the end. Like, I knew it wasn't gonna be a happy ending because the addiction still hasn't been dealt with, and there's like 4 other books just in their lives. Yeah, now I cannot wait for my copy to get here because I want to tab and like annotate everything that I highlighted on my Kindle on the physical book. I am so freaking excited for that. I also ordered the next 2 books. If you have read this book, comment down below your thoughts, but only about this book. Please don't spoil anything about the other books. Yeah, I'm rooting so hard for these 2 characters, and even, oh my god, the friend group. I didn't even mention their friends yet. I am so glad they have friends now. I'm so glad they met people. Like, obviously, Connor is gonna play a pretty big role because he did get together with Rose, and I feel like, yeah, Reich is definitely gonna play a big role too, because that's literally Lo's brother. I'm assuming he's gonna end up with Daisy, but I don't know because Daisy's 15 and he's like in his 20s, so I don't know. That's a little problematic in that case, but that's all of my thoughts. I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below, and if you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button down there, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.